Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Luxury News Weekly, your number one source for luxury news. Today, we are talking about Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo's Louis Vuitton campaign, Future buying a condo made and designed by Bentley, and lastly, Adidas losing their trademark battle against luxury designer Thom Browne. So let's get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, so for our first story, we've got a very interesting collaboration which came in just in time for the previous World Cup, which, just passed. And we have the two GOATs, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, posing with this Louis Vuitton bag, playing chess on the checkerboard marks. And this is quite an interesting and one of the first times we've had such a major collaboration in the sports world of soccer in particular. So, Elizabeth, what do you think about this viral ad that took over the internet?
Well, as you can imagine, it really caused a stir. A lot of people were talking about it. I thought it was absolutely genius of Louis Vuitton to get these two iconic players together. And also, the photograph was actually taken by Annie Leibovitz, who, again, another iconic photographer. So it was iconic up and iconic up and iconic. And the fact that they're both playing chess. Having said that, conspiracy theorists actually believe that both players were not in the same room at the same time. As you can imagine, people have been analyzing the still photos, but regardless of what people think, I think even the conspiracy theory is actually a great thing because it keeps people talking about this particular photo. Also, if you kind of compare and contrast both players, the rivalry, etc., we know the outcome of the World Cup. We know that Argentina did win, and also that Cristiano Ronaldo, in the run up to the World Cup, he gave this very ill-advised interview to a reporter that I refuse to even mention or acknowledge. And I believe that actually contributed to whatever it is that happened to him during the World Cup. So, all in all, a fantastic coup for Louis Vuitton. I can imagine what they must have paid, but regardless, I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I have to say, the picture itself is a very good picture when it comes to the way it was representing the two icons of soccer, not just in their skill and their level of ability. They're known for getting into the heads of the people they're playing against, always being one step ahead, always faking this and tricking that. And it's funny that chess represents that kind of a mindset. Now, I love how Louis Vuitton did not inject themselves all over the campaign. It's a subtlety, and it's really about the rivalry and the excellence of those two players. But that said, they also put themselves in a place in history where now Louis Vuitton is being clearly associated with them, because Louis Vuitton has been making the trophy trunk for the World Cup now for several World Cups. I'm not sure how long, but I know it's been more than two. So that's a nice nod at, hey, the greats are fighting over the title, but it's an undisputed that we are the greats. Like, we are the great chess maker, the board maker, the chest maker in this case, actually. Is what
Oh,
I meant to say.
absolutely. I completely agree. And I love what you said about the strategy element because according to Messi, a football match is actually won way before you step onto the pitch. He's got the tactics down, he's got the strategy down. So I love that the chess represents that piece for both of them, and the respect is there. And yes, again, Louis Vuitton, they played a blinder with this one. And for me, two thumbs up.
Two thumbs up, and we know how it ends. It's checkmate, and Messi comes out on top. Apparently, that's how it ends. Well, moving on to our next story. This is a follow up, a bit of a continuation, let's say, on the condo building in Miami that is yet to be built, but it's called the Bentley Residences. And if you listen to our previous episode on Apple Podcast or Spotify or any audio platform, you can listen to the episode we did talking about Bentley's furniture, amazing furniture line they did, and a separate one talking about the condo building that they're building in Miami. So this is a follow up. So the famous rapper Future, world renowned artist, has purchased a $7.5 million condo, and this building has actually now got more details that have been released about it. So we can kind of get into that. But on just face value, based on what we know so far from our previous conversation, Elizabeth, what are you thinking? Is this going to be the next celebrity place of residence?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Miami is hot anyway. You've got Art Basel, you've got several celebrities flocking there. So Miami is hot, both figuratively and in terms of cachet.
Yeah.
But what I find interesting is that the designer of the building actually designed the Porsche Tower. And Lionel Messi used to live in the Porsche Tower. So I just thought I'd bring that in, especially following on from the last story. Now, what you would find is that many people will definitely be buying property as investment, especially as the recession is going to be hitting in the West. So many people are going to be buying off plan to invest their money because they know the value will definitely go up and it would actually protect their money as well. So I feel that Future probably got a deal in order to buy this off plan property because they know that using his name will definitely garner and generate attention. So I believe for them, for the developers, this is a massive coup.
And what I like about this Bentley building, we saw the Bentley furniture, which some of it is gonna, some of the tables will be installations for the kitchens, etc., right? Or islands, right? But what I love about it is it's kind of clearly for a bachelor. They have a special elevator to bring your car into the building. They have a cigar lounge and a whiskey bar in this building. They have a swimming pool, everything very much a focus on outdoor space because like you said, Miami is warm and it's great to be outside. So for instance, the unit that Future has is 6,000 square feet, and 2,000 square feet is dedicated to outdoor space. So we're looking at a building that's really built for lounging around and socializing and, bachelor stuff. Like, let's be honest.
I don't know though if that's a bit of a stereotype because it kind of plays to the rapper with a gazillion baby mamas all over the place, but wanting his
Yeah.
freedom. And, the children might come. Well, if they do, they might come for maybe one or two overnight visits, but they're not really going to live there and go to school there. It might not be conducive to raising a family there because, after all, it's 62 stories, I believe. However, I believe that sometimes you can do yourself a disservice because there might be young, up and coming professional couples who might want to live there, people from out of town who might want to live there. And the image and the thought of, it's a rapper's paradise, I don't know if that would sit really well with some people. So again, I look at the equivalent of condos in New York, where because space is absolutely really, really a premium in New York. So are we saying this particular property, it's only good for people who are single, who are bachelors, or are we saying there should be a bit more diversity? But then again, people don't care if you've got 6.3 million pounds dollars to spend. You can spend it as you wish.
I know. And honestly, Miami's entire image is a rapper's paradise. Like that, they
Yeah.
built their name on that. So, and it used to be a crypto bros paradise, but but they built their name on that. I don't think it's gonna change. And most likely, most of these units are going to be Airbnbs anyways.
Yeah.
So I doubt, and yeah, you're right. Rappers are the worst to live next to. The absolute worst. The partying, the recklessness. It's like, because it's like, so what? I'll just fix anything I break, and the whole posse comes through. So it's like the whole entourage is there. But yeah, good luck to them though. I think the building. We'll follow up on this when the building has been further developed, and let's see how many more celebrities end up moving into this. It might be the best place to stay on your next Miami vacation. Moving on to our last story here, we have Adidas just taking L after L. It is not a great start for the brand here. Okay, we're just in the beginning of the year, and Adidas has already lost a trademark battle that they assumed, I'm sure, it would be a landslide win. We're talking about their trademark battle against the designer Thom Browne, sorry,
Thom
and
Browne.
yes, Thom Browne, and it's about stripes, and Adidas is known for its stripes, so I get it. But they lost because Thom Browne has been also using these stripes. The brand is not as old, nearly as old as Adidas, but it is well known within its cult following. What do you think, Elizabeth?
Oh, I love this. There are so many elements to this story. Number one, Thom Browne, a challenger brand, came out of nowhere. I think they dressed Cardi B for the Met Gala. They did all the right things to put themselves on the map, which was great. This is not the first time that they've had a run in with Adidas. I believe that a few years ago, Adidas complained, yeah, here's an our stripes. And Thom Browne said, you know what? We will add one more stripe to ours so people can tell the difference, etc., etc. So they did that. But that wasn't enough for Adidas. They had to be Goliath to the tiny David of Thom Browne. It seems as if these big brands sometimes are not learning their lesson. Sometimes the underdog that is gutsy, plucky, will actually beat you in court. And I wish I could speak to my copyright lawyers right now. Things around intellectual property rights, trademarking, copyright, sometimes there's the law is very, very clear. And as someone who is a creative myself, I had a recent run in where somebody literally came to me to say, I want you to create X for me, took my work to somebody cheaper. And this person is supposedly a celebrity singer. They're actually an artist, a celebrity
Oh,
singer. So I then consulted with my copyright lawyer. But then you get to a point where you're thinking, do I really want to give this the energy, the time, the money that it deserves to make a point? So that's exactly where I am, because the incident happened middle of December. But my point is, who do I take to court? Do I take the person who replicated my work to court, or do I take the celebrity to court? So again, all I know is Adidas is saying that they're going to appeal, they're going to consult their IP, they're going to, I mean, these are the noises that you make when you've lost big time.
yeah.
When you've lost big time.
You just
But to
start
be
looking for anything.
anything. So, yeah, I mean, over to you. What do you think?
Well, they were going to take them to court for about $8 million in damages, $7.8 million in damages. A small brand does not have $7.8 million in profits to just give you. All right, first of all, so they were basically trying to bankrupt them over some stripes. Right? And like you said, they already dealt with this. Now that you mentioned that, I'm like, yeah, this did come up before, and they added that extra stripe so that it was clearly not Adidas, but they use that mark everywhere. And they're not claiming to be Adidas. They're not in the same lane as Adidas. They're a luxury brand, first of all. I think no one would confuse the two. Their clothes don't look the same. They don't have the same feeling. I really do think, like you're saying, it's like a PR stunt, and not a PR stunt. It's like actually, you know what? Yeah, hot take, hot take. I think Adidas is losing a battle on all sides right now. Okay. Nike is so aggressive with attacking people for copyright. They just do it because they have the lawyers for it. So it doesn't even matter if they're wrong. And right now, Nike is in a strong position because Adidas has been taking just L after L. They
Oh,
they just lost Kanye, right?
Kanye.
I know they'll say they let Kanye go, but in reality, they lost
They
Kanye
lost
because
him.
he was the one making the money. So it's not like, it's like when someone says like, "Oh, who you guys broke up?" And you're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." And then they're like,
Who broke up
"Oh,
with who?
who broke up with who?" Yeah, exactly. Oh no, it was a mutual decision. Was it though? Like, yeah. So they cut dry. They had good reasons to let him go, but let's be honest, they are the ones that really took the L there. And then immediately after that, they get into a scandal with Balenciaga. People didn't notice half that scandal was an Adidas collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
They were
Mm-hmm.
so quiet about it, which is, I mean, again, another strong PR move. It's like just say nothing, and then
Nothing.
they move on. Now they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to see how we move forward with Adidas. We're canceling a collab, and then they're like, you know what? Let's sue small Mister Thom Browne here and make sure he does not, get any more leeway. We need the money, so we're gonna ask this little guy for $8 million to keep us going. I mean, I'm joking, but like, it's just it's bad timing, and then you take the L on top of it. Oh
Oof.
man.
Oof.
Oh
Oh.
man.
I mean, it's great for Thom Browne because Thom Browne has appealed, the designer appeals to Gen Zs and millennials, the market that many, many brands are desperate to get. And if I were Adidas at this point, I would probably look into some sort of collaboration. Gucci did it with Balenciaga. People are collaborating left, right, and center. If I were Adidas, I would do a kiss and makeup. I would even do a parody, a meme, a play on this
Yeah,
because I always say this: nobody is too big to fail.
absolutely. And like Drake said, I guess his checks over stripes for now.
High five.
So that's it for us today. Thank you. And check out our audio version of this same podcast. We got 2 seasons already on every audio platform you can think of. So go check that out. In the meantime, we'll see you later on Luxury News Weekly.